What's up, Pound and Crew? We are live. I'm heading back from Charlotte. um, Getting in a bit of a traffic snag right now. First things first. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out the Facebook. Keep in all caps for in-game posts, polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news, as well as scheduling for the channel and the Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football League. Let's get into the content. Let's go. The Saints make the Panthers tremble today. And no, that is not a pun towards Tommy Tremble, unfortunately. Our offense is going to be a major topic of discussion here soon. But first, I want to discuss this defense. This defense played their hearts out for you today. I mean, they gave everything they had today. And without the offense getting it done, they wore themselves out. And it's another one of those types of games where if we don't put up points, we're going to wear out this defense. Little by little, they're going to get injured one by one because of that alone. Forget the turf. You know, that's going to be the biggest issue that's going to lead to injuries. Things are looking sketchy, brother. The real Sunchild. Shout out to you, Fate Nam. Our defense played very well. It's the offense that struggled. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm gonna straight up say this. Let's talk about the defense and then we'll get into the offense real quick. Defense did really, really well. Dante Jackson did get burnt crispy on one play, but I mean, for the most part, he had a great game. And yeah, I got a lot of love for this dude, man. I do. Dante is a great guy. And offense certainly needs to get some traction quick. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. You're right. Shaq is going to be out most likely for the season. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not 100% on that yet because I haven't seen any official sources state that, but that's what I'm hearing through the grapevine. And here's the good. There's good things about that and bad things. Okay. The good things about this is he was one of the main targets that these offenses have been using to get their soft yardage over the middle of the field because of his lack of coverage ability. Despite what people are saying about him, you know, that goes quite to the contrary, and they're getting a bad take on him, the people that are saying that. Give me a second to navigate these cones here, and I'll read that chat message. Yeah. So that's the good part about it. The bad part about it is you're losing a really good tackler and a really good run stopper. Because that's who Shaq is. And I've been saying it for the longest time. That's who Shaq is. It's that dry mountain air. Yeah, go ahead and get your frustrations out, man, in chat. Go for it. This offensive problems are Frank's problem. Are on Frank. And I'll explain why. Before I even get into Scott Fitterer comments, which I know are coming, I'm going to go ahead and speak on Frank. God, excuse me. Allergies. TMJ, Tremble need to go as well. Ian, honestly, like I don't see any reason why we need to toss Ian Thomas and Tremble. They weren't even in this game, bro. They weren't even thrown to. Let me get to the rest of these comments real quick. He missed a tackle last week. And he missed a tackle in the home opener. Who are you talking about? I can't keep up with these comments, guys. I can't keep up with chat right now. I gotta drive. Alright, let me explain why I think it's Frank. Okay? Now, let me first say this. Frank has had a history of bad things that he's been doing since the beginning of this year. You know, and I started noticing him around the first week of preseason, where he was, and he does it again during this game. Now, I know that he is calling these plays because one of my buddies, David, was watching this game and he could tell that Frank was calling these plays. He was calling them through the headset. Bryce couldn't figure it out. Took too long to snap the ball. He eventually did, of course. But, I mean, realistically, like, you could tell Frank was calling these plays. Alright? It was obvious. And there was the most vanilla plays you could ever come across. And it got to the point where it reminded me of the old offensive coordinator that we used to have under John Fox that used to run draw plays every first down. I mean, when the opposing defense can figure that out, you're in trouble. Okay, you're in serious trouble. That's going back to the dark ages type of offense. We don't want to do that anymore. We were so predictable. And I had one other person say that the wide receivers would continuously go throughout their routes, even into coverage, and not stop. And I'm sitting there going, really? Really? That's what we're you're going to seriously tell me that these wide receivers are going to continuously go throughout their routes right into coverage over and over and over again, not getting open. I don't understand it. There's the matter of Andy Dalton. Why was this man put in on a 4th and 1? Why? Why would you put in Andy Dalton on a 4th and 1 unless you're running a quarterback sneak? Quarterback sneak was obvious quarterback sneak. Come on now. We can't get a little more creative than that on a 4th and 1. And why even was it a 4th and 1 to begin with when everybody saw it on the big screen that it was clearly a first down and it was a bad ball spot? Like, I've just got major questions, man. God, these sinuses are kicking my butt today. But yeah, offense was underprepared. Yep. Car streams are back, eh? Yeah, they were almost not, man, because I've had some bad issues with. I almost decided not to do it because, I scraped the truck earlier. There wasn't much damage to the truck, but there was a little damage to my car, and probably not do that anymore. Car streams may not be a great idea anymore. I felt like trying it tonight because I felt like I could handle it, but I just can't keep up with chat, that's all. It's not possible to keep up with chat while I'm doing this. So I apologize for not being able to read all of your responses. I'll read them later. And I will definitely reply and acknowledge them later on. In a small video. But yes, I do recognize all your opinions and all your thoughts here. So they are all valid points and they're all valid things that need to be said. So, but yes, I am just fine. You guys don't have to worry, I'm fine. But yeah, I'll get to, I want to talk about Frank. I want to talk about Frank because this is a major problem brewing here with this team. I want to get back on topic, man. Frank is calling these plays, and if we don't get a handle on this soon, and the problem started way before this week. Okay, they started with the rotational depth that Frank was doing, and I'm sitting there like, I don't understand why this man is still trying the stuff that he is. We've had CJ Henderson in for Troy Hill. I did not approve of that. I did not approve of us using Andy Dalton in the way that we did on the 4th and 1. And I don't know, man. Like, I'm not ready to throw this dude under the hot seat yet, but after 2 losses, you got to have a lot of concern. And that's just tonight. That's stuff he's done tonight. We're not even talking about the previous stuff that he did rotational depth chart wise back in preseason. And I'm sitting here yet again asking the same question I was before. We're paying Troy Hill $1.2 million. CJ Henderson is playing well, but Troy Hill outplayed him during the first game. Why isn't he playing? Why isn't he starting in place of the injured corner? Why is this not happening? I don't understand it. Because the last time look, guys, it's a foregone conclusion CJ is going to get burnt crispy. It's a foregone conclusion. If you think Derek Carr was not going to target him during this game, you're either blind or you don't know as much as you think you do about CJ Henderson. I mean, really. I respect all the people that are CJ supporters right now, but there's a certain point where, you know, game is on the line. We're playing against division opponents. We can't afford to make mistakes like this. You know, it's not smart. Yeah, Michael Thomas was going to eat. Yeah, I called it. Michael Thomas is Michael Thomas. That's who he is. You know, I've been saying that. You know, I've been warning people about him. Like, I knew who this dude was, man, before he even got in. And I'm sitting there like, okay, well, if we're going to be putting Dante Jackson on him, then we need a good corner on the other side to handle his business, you know, and make sure that Olave doesn't get too many touches. Well, sure enough, here comes CJ Henderson out there, and Olave gets a bunch of touches. And I'm like, I freaking called it. I told you, they're just going to double up Michael Thomas, and then Olave and all these other wide receivers are going to get their fill. Because we have a soft middle. No, I didn't. What are you saying I didn't call? I did say that Michael Thomas was going to do well, man. I told y'all to watch out for him, man. Just like I told y'all about these wide receivers last week, man. Oh, these. Good one. Good one. See, I got a sense of humor like that, man. I do. I get you. Driving 200 miles to see that performance? Yeah. Ryan, I feel you, buddy. But hey, man, it was the experience. It really was, though. Like, I will go to a close Panthers game and lose. I don't mind, you know, because it's the experience. It's being able to come up here and meet all of you guys, you know, and and cheer for my team, whether we win or lose, man. It's all about the experience. Yeah, there wasn't the result we wanted, but you know, I still got a chance to come up here, man. I made it up there safely, and I'm about to make it all the way back home safely. So, you know, end of the day, with all the struggles I've been going through the last 2 months, with a new car and all kinds of whatnot, you know, bills to pay and all kinds of money I'm having to shell out these past 2 months in places I've needed to go, you know, I cannot complain one single bit. You know, I got to meet all the super fans out there. Shout out to all of them. Man, what a fun experience. What a great experience, man. I think one of them flew out from like Toledo, Ohio, you know, and has been able to come out here and check out these games. And I'm like, that's a real super fan right there. I love that. I love that. I got to meet the Mad Cata. I got to meet the Mad Cata himself, man. Dude, that was dope. That was dope. And me and him had a awesome conversation, and bro, let me get, my throat's a little dry. But yeah, man, me and him had a really awesome conversation. We were chatting it up about all the stuff that he's created and everything. And I mean, I just love the guy, man. I love the guy. And I would be happy to promote him on this channel anytime he wants. I told him that too. So, uninterrupted, let him through here, man. Would love to have it. But, I got to meet the Catman Jr., man. That was dope. That was really dope. Like, just coming up here for the experience of meeting some of you, you know, is rewarding enough as it is. You know what I mean? It brings joy to my heart. You know, to be able to meet with fans, even though we're going through a Panthers loss, you know, but we're going through it together, you know, as a family. And that's awesome. I love that. No matter what happens to this team, we end up going through it together as a family, and we're a unit, you know? I love that. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And, you know, I think there's a lot of upsides to this team. I do. Our defense played really, really well. I think we've got a shot at turning the season back around. But we've got to start play calling better. Frank, that is on you. 1000% that is on you. Because, and I started thinking about this. I was on the phone with David before I started streaming. Me and him were talking about this. Frank has worked with, now think about this, Matt Ryan. He's worked with Andrew Luck. He's worked with, arguably, Peyton Manning. I think he worked with Manning as well. I'm not 100% on that, but I think so. But I mean, you think about all these like all-star quarterbacks that he's worked with, and I mean, most of them work their own playbooks, right? Because they've been doing this for quite a few years, and they pretty much know what they're doing. They bring their playbook with them. So, I mean, that being said, how much of this is just Frank just saying, okay, you're the quarterback, I'm the coach, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to let you coach. I'm going to let you call these plays. I'm going to let you do my job. And it's like, what? After all that talk about, we're going to hold ourselves accountable and all this, let Bryce Young call his own plays. Yeah, I mean, the man's smart. Granted. But he's a rookie. You can't do that with a rookie. Even Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, they all struggled in their first rookie year. It wasn't until they got used to the NFL and the speed of how things were being played that they started creating their own playbooks. You can't just ask Bryce to create his own playbook in the first year and be like, okay, yeah, go be Cam Newton, go be Superman. It doesn't work like that. Rookies have to learn for a year. You can't just throw them right into the fire. Even Bryce. And I'm going, okay, well, if this is what we're doing, then no wonder we're 0-2. No wonder we don't have an offense. No wonder these wide receivers are running into coverage, and not deviating from the routes. Frank, it's all you, bro. It's all you. And people want to blame Scott Fitterer for this. It's not Scott Fitterer's fault. He put this roster together, but Frank has to orchestrate it. He's the conductor. If you can't conduct your correctly, then it's going to sound like crap. I mean, let's be real. And Frank has been doing this for a number of years in Indianapolis, and I don't want to say that he is a bad coach at all. He's not a bad coach at all. He's actually been a successful coach, but how much of that was because he had around him that was really pushing and executing well, that has been around the league for years? That is my major question. Like, I don't want to throw Frank under the bus. I'm not saying that we should yet. But what I'm saying is, there's some real major concerns, and they all stem back from him. You see what I mean? This depth chart rotation, this all other stuff that's going on with this team, man. The wide receivers not running the wrong route, not running the right routes. Okay, how many of these calls were being run by our offensive coordinator? If you're not going to let the offensive coordinator call the plays, what's the point of having an offensive coordinator? What is his job, actually, if you don't let him call the plays? Like, why is he there? That's what I'm wondering. If Frank is calling all these plays and they're not working, okay, why are we not shifting this over to the offensive coordinator? Why is this job not his to take over and do? With play calling. It's scary to me that we're sitting here 0-2 and every other division team is 2-0. It's terrifying. New England's starting to know what that feels like too. But, you know, I mean, how do we let... Excuse me? How do we let ourselves go 0-2? How do we let ourselves get here? We are better than this. We have way too much talent for this. Like, it baffles me. And there were a lot of bad referee calls in both games. Bad ball spots. Stuff I was just not generally happy with. Mostly the ball spotting tonight was the major problem. There were at least 3 first down situations that got called back and were inches. They spotted it like inches short where it was supposed to be. This bad ball spot. I'm sitting there just going, really? Like, they showed it on the big board. It's impossible not to see it. It's literally impossible not to see it and go, that's short. You know, it should be longer than that. And yet these referees still will not spot this ball correctly all night long. They did it to the Saints too, at least twice. I saw that too. I was like, really? We're really doing this? And I want to be fair to the Saints fans too, you know, because they did that twice to the Saints too. And I was like, really? Like, why are we getting the bad draw of all the bad refs? And I mean, Kansas City knows that feeling because they had some horrible refs that were going against them too in that game against Jacksonville. I mean, that was what, 6 penalties against Kansas City? God bless. Every time I turned around, there was a flag on the field during that Kansas City game. I was like, what the heck am I watching? And there were like 3 turnovers by the Chiefs. I mean, they were trying desperately to get the Chiefs to lose. Desperately. I mean, the news media loved their shocker story. But what shocker story is there in Carolina for us to lose and go 0-2? Where's the shocker story, though? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I don't understand this hate for the Panthers in the media. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why are we getting all the biased refs against us? And I'm not trying to cry wolf here, man. I'm just stating facts. I'm stating facts, bro. Like, welcome to the NFL, I guess. But, you know, I still want to be respectful enough and say that we did a lot of that to ourselves, though. We did. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 of those penalties were legitimate that we got tonight out of 6. I'm telling you, that offsides, I did not see a single player budge. And somehow we get flagged for that. Now maybe I was wrong. Maybe that one offsides call. Did not see a player budge. smack Brian Burns for it. But I mean, honestly, I don't think he budged past the line. You can't cross the line. You can shift around all you want, but you can't cross the line. And I don't think he did. Which was horse hockey, man. Because add that to the total of garbage reffing calls we've had in the past 2 weeks. You know, and I'm sitting there going, okay, 3 of those were legit tonight out of those flags. The other 3 were complete garbage. Like, are you serious type garbage? Like the stuff that makes you want to throw your shoe at your TV type garbage. And I sat there in the stadium seats watching this live. Oh man, I'm trying to be respectful, but at the same time, like, we have definitely not drawn very good refs in the last 2 weeks. Reffing crews. I'm just hoping that we get better with that, and the NFL gets better with that, to where we don't have that issue anymore. You know. But no promises. So I want to state this. While we're talking about the NFL as a whole, the NFLPA has decided that they're going to get rid of turf fields, which is excellent. Excellent move. Finally, man. Like, it took them long enough, man. As many of you know, I've been on a warpath about that on this channel. So, I mean, a perfect example of that today, I think it was Miles Sanders that caught a pass out wide and tripped over the turf after catching the ball and getting tagged for only a gain of 3 when he had at least 5 or 7 yards available to him to run. I'm just sitting there going, really? This is what we're doing? This is how injuries happen right here. We got our own wide receivers tripping over this turf. How many of these injuries happen during practice too, by the way? How many? I mean, it's a major concern. It is. It's a major concern, guys. Injury bug is really, really killing us. And it's been that kind of year. I hate it, but it's been that kind of year. So, this is where all that depth comes in. This is why I emphasized building up depth as much as I did. You know, this is why I went player to player down the list, you know, and looked at every one of these guys to know exactly what we have. And Scott did an excellent job of building depth. You know, we got Cade Mays. You know, we got Brady Christensen out, so Cade Mays took over. That's what depth does for you. These guys come in and they take care of business. That's why you sign all these people. You don't just say, oh, well, we'll just sign whatever top dollar wide receiver or offensive tackle is out there. No. You sign these guys because of the best fit for your depth and for your team. So when you sign them, you got to know exactly what you're signing, right? And when you draft, you have to know exactly what you're drafting. So Cade Mays takes over and he does a good job. Now Taylor Moton's the one I got an issue with, because Taylor Moton is struggling. Whether people want to admit it or not, he's starting to struggle bus, and it's not good. There were a couple of plays tonight where he had a rough time and got roughed up, and it led to sacks. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Like, if it's not left tackle, it's somewhere else on this offensive line where we have a leak in the boat, man. It always is. And we can't seem to solve it. I don't know what it is, but whenever you plug up the one spot, here comes another hole. You know? You know, like the old cartoons that you see on Saturday mornings with the cartoon boat, where it's always got a hole in it. You can use as much silly putty as you want. It's not going to solve the problem. You gotta have the best guys out there, or you're going to be in trouble. Point blank. These pass rushers are not screwing around this year. And I've watched this for long enough that I'm just going, uh-oh. You know, I know where this leads. I don't want to say that we can't solve the problem from within with depth, because we can, but it's just not good. Anyway, credit to all the players that made plays today. Y'all did a great job, especially Frankie Luvu, Jeremy Chin. Big plays today, man. I'm proud of this defense. I really am. Y'all played your guts out today. And I got so much respect for that. Like, y'all put your hearts into it, and I love y'all for that. It's just we got some work to do. We got some soul searching to do on offense. And if we can come up with the type of solutions we need. Sorry, my sinuses are kicking my rear end right now. But if we can find the solutions we're looking for, man, I think we could turn this season around. I really do believe it. But I think it has to start with Frank. If Frank can figure out how to call these plays better, or hand them off to Brian, the offense coordinator, which I would prefer he do that, then we'll see what happens, you know. And I don't want to be in this situation where we're 0-2, everybody else is 2-0 in the division, after we just lost 2 division games, and we're going, oh, well, I don't know. I don't have a solution. Herp, derp, derp, you know. We got to find a solution. We can't just sit on our thumbs. We're 0-2. You know, this is exactly where we didn't want to be. And yet we're here. Sitting on yet another bad season. if we don't turn it around. We got too much talent not to be able to do it. But it's got to start from within. It's got to start with Frank. And this is not Gettleman's fault at all. It's not Scott Fitterer's fault at all. We have built this roster exactly how we want it to be. We just have to execute. This is a good roster, guys. I still stand by this roster. I still do. I think it's an excellent roster. We just have to execute. We have to put in a plan of action on offense that gets us points. We've been sitting on this offense all for 3 months now, and we still haven't figured this out. That's coaching. That is 100% coaching. Tell me it isn't. Tell me it isn't at this point, because I refuse to believe it's anybody but Frank that's causing these problems. Yeah, the players have issues executing. But again, how do you help them to execute better? Coaching. That's the bottom line. Straight up, that is the bottom line. And I'll talk to you guys a bit longer. Now I can read chat. Let me see if I can. There we go. Jeez. All right. Sorry about that. Let's go through this chat real quick. Our defense played well. It's the offense that's remedial. Yep, agreed. Offense definitely needs to get some traction quick. Yep, agreed. Sorry. Fighting off something, I think. Maybe. I'll be alright, y'all. Scott Fitter is now in the hot seat, the real Sunchild says. No. Frank, if anybody, should be on the hot seat. I've been trying to tell y'all, Frank has been screwing up ever since preseason. He's been screwing up ever since preseason, y'all. I've been telling y'all all the warning signs, and you're missing them all. If you're still going after Scott Fitterer's head right now. This is not... I've seen all the people that are against Scott Fitterer saying, oh, well, look at Scott Fitterer's picks and all this stuff, you know. And I'm going, okay, so what? We've had bad coaching. How are you going to develop players under bad coaching? Every time we have picked up good players like this and tried to execute the coaching, it's in the way. We've had Matt Garbage Rule, you know, coaching us for the last 2 years. And Scott has had to do everything under his power just to save our butts. just to get us out of trouble. So no, don't do that. Don't do that. Scott is not the problem here. Frank is. It's either Frank or the offensive coordinator, one of the two, whichever one is calling these plays. Now, if you want to believe it's the offensive coordinator, fine. Put the offensive coordinator on the seat. If you want to believe it's Frank, because he's had a history of bad things that he's been doing since the start of the preseason, then yeah, Frank needs to be put on the hot seat. Anybody could talk a good game and say all these great things, and then not execute and be a car salesman. The two head coaches so far that really have acted like car salesmen have been Matt Rule, definitely number one by a mile and a half, and then Frank. Everybody else has been doing their job properly. Now, I'm going to let this offensive coordinator off the hook now because we don't know whether it's him or Frank calling these plays. I said for now. For now. But how are you going to blame Scott for all this? When these guys don't have proper game plans to execute with on offense. And by the way, the Panthers defense played their guts out the last two games for you. Oh, but Scott Fitterer is the problem, right? Guess who drafted half these people? Scott. Guess who signed half these people? Scott. Oh, but Scott is the problem? Nah, no, you can't both ways. You can't have it both ways. It's either one or the other. Which one is it? You either believe that Scott is the problem or you don't. You can't have your cake or eat it too on this one. I'm sorry to tell you all that. Either you think all of Scott's picks are busts, or most of them, or you think that Scott is doing a good job, and he's handling his business, and it's the coaching staff that has handicapped him. Let us not forget, DJ was Ajaro's pick. I'm going to put faith in him for right now because that's Ajaro's pick, and so far Ajaro has been putting up the success on defense. His defense looks great. You will see no complaints from me on that. Now, they do wear down if you don't put points on the board, as any great defense would. Now, it remains to be seen how good this defense really is. Are we top 10? Are we top 15? It remains to be seen. So, we won't know that until the offense gets themselves straightened out and we start getting some points on the board. Where we actually stand. But either you blame Scott or you don't. And if you're blaming Scott, you have to blame all the good picks on him too. You got to use that logic too. So I'm sorry. That does not hold water for me. And I'm sure like all the anti-Scott Fitterer people are going to come out of the woodwork this week. I'm expecting it. Y'all don't want me coming on these streams and defending Scott, man. Y'all don't want me doing it. Because I got valid points to make. Number one. Okay. Who brought back Cam Newton, by the way? Who brought back Cam Newton? That's number one. Y'all wanted him back in Carolina. Number 2, who brought back Josh Norman, the Dark Knight, when we needed him the most? And who barely used either one? Case in point, right? Coaching. Who just signed Troy Hill this year for $1.2 million and who's not using them? Case in point, coaching. Ding, ding, ding. If you guess Frank is the problem, you win the prize. I mean, this is where we're at right now. Man, I'm so done watching coaching ruin every player that we bring in here, man. Every time. It doesn't matter. We always have somebody that's a Lex Luthor sitting in our Justice League table in our coaching staff, man. We always got one Lex Luthor in here, man, that's just power hungry. And or screws us up. I mean, it's like, come on, man. Really? Every year. Maybe it's the GM, maybe it's the head coach, maybe it's the offense coordinator, maybe it's the defensive coordinator. It's somebody, man, every year. And I'm sick of it as a Panthers fan. Can we not have one complete coaching staff that doesn't screw ourselves up? Can we? Or is that too much to ask in Carolina? Apparently it's too much to ask. I don't know. But yeah, if you're going to blame our problems on Scott Fitterer, you got to at least credit him with his successes. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You can't throw Scott under the bus and not acknowledge his successes. And there's some people that are going to say, oh, well, these weren't successes at all. And I'm like, what? Like, are you living under a rock? Okay. Let's take Frankie Louvu, for example. We got Frankie Louvu from the Jets. This man was a steal. Y'all didn't know who he was. Nobody knew who this dude was. And he starts balling out. Damn pollen in the air. Well, yeah. Whose success was that? Whose success was that? Who are we crediting? I'm sure not crediting Frank. I know that because he was successful during the Matt Rule era. That's how you know. That's a Scott Fitterer man right there. Show him his flowers. Guys. We could literally go down the list on this one. We could go down the list of successes that Scott's had. How about Miles? How about Miles Sanders? Oh, but Miles Sanders is Miles Sanders is good, right? Miles Sanders is great. He's been putting up the numbers. Whose success is that? Whose success is that? Because it ain't Frank's with the terrible play calling, right? Come on, man. Y'all got to get off Scott's back, man. Y'all got to get off his back. I got countless lists of examples right here. How about Derek Brown? You know, how about Jeremy Chin? I mean, the list goes on. Y'all want me to name them all? Or y'all still got to be throwing smoking Scott Fitterer for this? when Frank clearly has a negative, bad history this year of doing stupid stuff. And it's starting to cost us games. And it's pissing me off. I don't know about y'all, but it's pissing me off. By the end of the year, if I don't put out some video or some live stream about saying fire Frank, unless he turns it around, I want to see him turn it around. I don't want to put out that video, bro. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to ask for somebody to get fired in this team, man. I don't want to have to do that. Y'all got to turn it around yourselves. You got to do it yourselves. You got to be self-motivated to change things. Otherwise, we're going to keep running around in the same circles every week, doing the same rat race with this offense. And I know y'all don't want that. So, Frank, it's up to you. We're tired of watching it, man. We're tired of watching mediocre football, man. As Panther fans, we know where the problem is. We know how to solve it. Get to it. We know it's you, bro. And furthermore, excuse me, y'all. Furthermore, I don't want to hear any owners complaining about this turf issue. I don't want to hear nothing from these owners. Oh, y'all got to pay $1 million per team. Big whoop. Compared to what y'all are missing out on with these hurt players every year that you're paying millions of dollars to. Come on, man, please. Spare me the childish stuff, man. We ain't got time for it. When we got players tripping over that turf, literally tripping over that turf with nobody around them, with the ball in their hands, that's a problem. How do these owners not understand this? That's what I don't understand. How do these owners not understand this? It's perfectly laid out in front of you. You can see it. You guys go to these games. You watch them from the boxes. You watch these people trip over their own yard lines. And yet you still continue to do the turf. Baffles the heck out of me. Anyway. Back to the chat. He missed a tackle last week and he missed a tackle this week. So did Dante. I think at the time we were talking about Shaq, were we not? They're not worth these contracts they got. I mean, CJ did okay in the first half, man. I got to give him credit. He did okay in the first half. I got to give him his flowers. But in the second half, he got tired. He got lazy a little bit in coverage, and he got burnt. And I was like, just as I predicted. Right on target. I knew it. As soon as that defense starts wearing down, who do they look to first? If CJ's in there, who do they look to first? Come on now. It ain't rocket science. And, I mean, Dante did such a great job, man. Only to get burned on that one play, man. So, I mean, you can't fault Dante. Because you can only fault him on that one play. So, I mean, if I was to give Dante a grade, man, for this game, it would be a B plus, because For the most part in this game, he did excellent, man. He had pass breakups. He did great. I mean, a B plus from me. That's a great mark. You know, considering you know I've been very very strict on these corners this year, as you've noticed. So give the man his flowers. Give the man his respect. Um, do you see any reason what's the problem they're not showing up? And both played. They did. They all showed up, bro. They all showed up and played. It's just when the offense isn't getting it done and the defense is on the field too long, they're gonna wear out. That means these corners are gonna get tired, the defensive ends are gonna get tired, the linebackers are gonna get tired. It's fatigue. Like, I don't understand how there's some people out there that still don't understand what fatigue is. You know, it, when it comes to gameplay, I don't get it. The real Sunchild says Frank, right? Play calling is hogwash. Offense was underprepared. Zero game plan. Okay, so if we're saying that, if we're going down that rabbit hole, then you might as well say that for the first week too. You know, were we unprepared for the Falcons? Come on. When you've had 3 weeks, you had 3 weeks, bro, to prepare for a division rival team. I'm not buying it. Like Poppy says, last car stream was hilarious with that truck in front of you taking 2 lanes. Yeah. Funny, man. Traveled 200 miles to see that performance. Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, man, it's not so much the performance for me, it's the experience of just being there at BOA and getting to meet people and all the super fans and everything else. Dude, it was so much fun. I still enjoyed the heck out of it. Even though we lost, I still enjoyed it. And I'm just thankful I got there in one piece and got back in one piece. That's what matters, man. It's fun. You go for the experience too, Even if you lose, you still go for the experience. Even if you think it's a 50-50 game, you still go, because you love the heart pounding, electrifying energy that your team gives you, man. And I mean, let's be real. We're called the Cardiac Cats for a reason. we like we've had that nickname for years for a reason. So let's not act like this game wasn't going to become a Cardiac Cats type game. Because we all knew it was right from kickoff. We all knew it was going to come down to either 3 or 10 points. That one too. It's just a matter of who controlled the ball. And the Saints got control of that ball. And I mean, credit to the one player that got the pick, and I forget the name offhand. I think it was it Rowe? What was it, Woods? Sorry, it wasn't Rowe. I was thinking it was definitely a safety. It was definitely a safety. I think it was Woods. What a pick, though. What a pick. Credit to the man that got the interception, man. Much love to him. Hey, Much love to every player that made a tackle and made a play in this game. Love y'all to death. Fantastic job. And like I said, we played our hearts out. It just wasn't there. We stopped pounding on offense, man. We stopped pounding because we couldn't pound to begin with that game plan. And when you're talking about the corners, it's not like Michael walked all over us. You know, we had him contained, but you know, you can't be letting Derek Carr just run up the middle randomly like that. Like, we got to start plugging these gaps from the D line to the. I'm talking to the D line now. We have got to plug these gaps up the middle. We have got to plug these gaps. If we're running a 3-4 defense, that means that is a run defense heavy defense, right? A 3-4, right? Where was the run stopping? Where is the run stopping men? If we're running a 3-4, where is it? Where is it? Because I got a lot of questions there. And furthermore, if we're going to put 5 people on the defensive line, where's the pass rush? Welcome to Sackville tonight. Welcome to Sackville. We got like, what, 2 or 3 sacks tonight? Pass rush finally showed up. I'm proud of y'all. Proud of y'all. That was good effort, pass rushing, man. That was great. That's what we're looking for. Why does it take an entire first half of the Falcons game for that to show up? I don't know. But it showed up immediately during the Saints game, and that's what I requested. That's what I asked for. And I'm proud of y'all. Proud of y'all. Put that heat on Derek Carr. He had to run around. He had to escape. He had to run up the middle. He had to do things. And we forced him into a lot of bad decision passes. We did great on that D-line. I'm very pleased with that today. I told y'all that was one of the focal points that we needed to work on, and we succeeded in that goal. Now, in succeeding with that goal, we took away pressure off of our secondary. We took away pressure off of our linebackers, you know. So that's exactly what I was looking for. Now, while we're talking about that pass rush, welcome to the party, YGM. Welcome to the party. He's that one man that shows up late to the party but still brings beer. He still brings the beer, so everybody lets him in. You know? I mean, credit to YGM, man. Much love to you, man. At least you showed up, man. Better late than never. And I'll take it. I'll take it. But, and it was a critical sack, too. It was. About time, buddy. Maybe this is a coming out party for YGM. Maybe. Because, I mean, everybody is making each other better on this defense. They really are. Yeah, JC Horn's still on the IR, and we really, really miss him. But Dante Jackson and this whole company need to work on tackling. We still need to work on tackling. I saw Dante take a bad angle at a wide receiver, and it was bad. Let's be real, it was bad. I was like, really, Dante? I saw it live in front of me. I was watching it on the big screen, and I said, Dante, really, dude? Come on, bro. Better angles, man. If you're going to do that, at least get in front of the man before you try to tackle him. I mean, I'm not saying knock him into next year, but at least tackle the man. Sheesh. You can't let him get the yards after the catch. And that's what I've been stressing with these secondary guys, man. Stop letting these guys get the yards after the catch. Shut them down. That was one of the staples of things that we did with the Panthers offense back in 14 and 15. So we were able to shut down these players. Even if they got like a short pass or something, they were not able to do anything with it. They were shut down immediately, right as soon as they caught it. That's what I want this defense to turn into again, because that was a mammoth defense. That was something that everybody was scared to deal with coming into Charlotte. That's what I want. And I feel like we're taking steps in that direction again. I really do. I feel like we're going in that direction, and I'm really happy about that under Ajaro. I think Ajaro's the real deal. I think we keep Ajaro around. Real happy with him. I had my speculations. I had my doubts. I had my questions. He has answered all of them. And this defense looks good, man. I just need tackling. Tackling needs to be worked on. And we're golden. We're golden. We're forcing turnovers. We got a pick today. So, hey, we're taking steps in the right direction on that. So, I mean, there's a lot of positives here if you look at Ajaro's defense. There's a lot to be said for the success that we're having on defense. And as far as the path forward there. We just have to keep progressing, keep that path going. We're on a positive train when it comes to this defense. That could lead to a top 10 defense very, very quickly. It's just fatigue set in, and then that was it. You know, they were on the field too long. But I guarantee you, if the offense is doing well and doing their part, they will go 4 whole quarters for you. Yeah, they may have a few areas where they're going to be tired, you know, during the third quarter. That happens to a lot of defenses. It happens a lot. But once they get refreshed at the quarter change to the fourth, they come out there and they start firing on all cylinders again. You know, just like they were in the beginning of the game. That's what I want this defense to turn back into. We are so close. All we got to do is get that offense going. You know, and I feel like this offense is just the little engine that could, you know. And I know that's a stupid reference, but okay. Hear me out, though. Bryce is out there like the little train engine, you know? He's just going, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Yet Frank just continues to make this mountain harder and harder and harder for him to navigate. And I mean, every step of the way, he has put roadblocks in and stumbling blocks to keep us going for where we want to go with depth rotation. So, and game plan. So, Bryce is out there just like, yeah, I think I can hit this target. I think I can hit this target. I think I can hit this target. And in reality, when you try to do the stuff that he was trying to do in Alabama at the NFL level, it's not going to work. You need something at the NFL level, which requires an NFL playbook. Frank, that's on you. to create that. This isn't Matt Ryan. This isn't Peyton Manning. They don't create their own playbook. Bryce isn't going to create his own playbook. You have to help him with that. You have to teach him what to do and what not to do at the NFL level. That's different from the college level. You can't just sit there and just go, oh, well, he'll figure it out on his own. He's a smart guy. That's not how it works. You think Carson Wentz got where he is by just sitting there and just going, okay, I trust you, coach. I'm going to try to just trial by fire, How about Lamar Jackson? How about name a quarterback? Name a quarterback that's successful right now. Do you think they just sat around and just went, okay, coach, I'll try to figure it out on my own? And use the college playbook that I was using before. As a rookie. No, not at all. And that's what frustrates me. If that's what Frank is indeed doing here, then how is that better than Matt Rule? How is that better than Matt Rule? Because Matt Rule just told the players, figure it out for yourselves. Would not run would not run the 2-minute drill for anything. And just basically told these players, figure it out for yourselves. How is that better? How is Frank better at this point? Except for the fact that he's not doing the same stupid crap that Matt Rule was. He's actually managing the game properly. He's doing the proper things that he needs to do. As far as challenges, mount usage, clock usage, telling Bryce, okay, situational football, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, I need you to stay focused. I need you to do this, Except for the fact that there's no game plan. Nothing. So, again, tell me how that's different from Matt Rule. Except for the credentials that Frank has. Frank has a lot of credentials, and all the things he's saying are great in the press room. They're great. They're exactly what a head coach should be saying. But when it comes to taking it out on the field, he just goes, herp, derp, derp. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know what to do here. Offensive coordinator, help me out. Bryce, help me out. It's like, really? Weren't you the one supposed to be calling the plays? Y'all wanted an offensive-minded head coach. Here you go. How's that working out for you? Y'all were so happy to get him, and now we're 0-2, and everybody else in the division is 2-0. How's that working? Yeah, how's that theory working for you? Come back and talk to me when we get 9 wins, maybe. And maybe we'll have a conversation about that. But, if we can manage to get 9 wins, keep him on. I'm not saying he should go. What I'm saying is, he should not be put in charge of offensive line calls. Offensive play calls. That is just not it. That's not it. I don't know how much better the offensive coordinator would do, but at this point, we're beyond the point of, oh, well, let's try this, let's try that. It's too late. It's too late to apologize, guys, and try to make up excuses on the podium. You should have been fixing these problems to begin with, instead of letting them simmer and become an infection. It's bad, guys. It's bad. And if we continue to let this fester even further and not treat the problem, it's going to get worse. We got Seattle next. I mean, think about that. Think about what they just did in the last game. So, I mean, I will say this too, though. The NFL is a crazy time and a crazy sport to be in. The reason I say it's a crazy time is because a lot of unexpected stuff has been happening lately. I mean, look at the Chiefs, for example. I mean, what's going on there? Baffles me. But you've literally got the Dolphins beating the Patriots and going 2-0, and the Patriots going 0-2. You got the Bengals struggling. I mean, there's so many weird things going on there early on. And I mean, way early on. First 2 weeks early on. Then I'm just sitting here going, huh? You know, we had the Steelers beat the Browns tonight. And, I mean, what was that? 2 or 3 overtimes in the last 2 weeks? I mean, it's just nuts. So, I mean, anything can happen, but you just have to put something together in order to surprise the world and shock the world. And we're not doing it. So, I mean, I don't understand how people can keep blaming Scott for this when he's given you all the talent and all the tools in the tool belt that you could ever want. I mean, an entire freaking tool shed's worth of them. An entire freaking tool shed. You're working on a new car that you just bought, you know, and there's so many things that have to go right in order to have a successful prototype there, you know, that we're creating. And when something goes wrong, it's not immediately apparent what the problem is. You have to go in and you have to look at several other things too and see what's going on with those, you know. And so I say that to say this. When you deal with building an NFL team, it is exactly like working on a prototype car. It's exactly like that, especially with this team, because except with ours, it's an old, busted, older model car, right? But the engine's brand new, you know, you just got it painted, you know, you just put all the bells and whistles in it, you know, and then when you crank it up, it's like, clunk, 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 clunk. And you're going, crap. You know? That's exactly what happened in the first 2 games this year. That's exactly it. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out that if you have no plan on how to fix your car and how to fix your team and that is your specialty, you're supposed to be able to understand how to create an offensive playbook and how to make that work. You just relied on mechanics to handle it before, right? Oh yeah, and they did just fine, and that's why you kept your job. Now you got your own mechanic shop. You bought your own brand new engine for your brand new car, and you can't even figure out how to make it run properly because you've been relying on everybody else. And that's what I think is going on here with Frank. Now, I could have a totally bad take on this, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope he is everything that everybody says he is. I really, really do. I want to believe it. Guys, I want to believe it's as badly as you guys do. I do. But right now, I'm not buying into the ride. I'm not. I'm not right. I'm not riding that roller coaster right now with you guys. I'm not. I would love to be. I would love to say, oh yeah, Frank is everything y'all were saying he is, and he's legitimate. Um, and, and the opposite goes for Ajaro. Like I had doubts about Ajaro, and everybody's just like, oh yeah, Ajaro's great. Ajaro's wonderful. And he turned out to be exactly what y'all said he was. And I'm like, okay, cool. Cool. I'm on board. I love it. That's what I want from Rick. I want him to turn things back around. And I want him to show up and be the head coach that everybody says he is. Stop screwing around with the depth chart. Stop screwing around with the wide receivers. Stop screwing around with the stupid game plan that's never going to work. And fix the doggone problem. Get yourself. You know how to fix it, Frank. Come on, man. Like let's stop BSing and act like you don't. Like I don't know. Now let me tell y'all something. People are gonna blame it on Bryce. They're gonna blame it on the offensive line. They're gonna blame it on the lack of wide receivers being open. They're gonna blame it on everything other than what the source of the actual problem is, because that's this fan base. That's what we do. Okay? Let's be real about that. That's what we do. Am I right or wrong, folks? Come on. Look around YouTube. Look around Facebook. Tell me I'm wrong. That's what we do. We love looking for scapegoats. How about using the right scapegoat that is actually the source of the problem? We do this every year, folks. It's a different person every year. But it's always a management person. Always. Now, for about 6 or 7 years, we were able to use the offensive line as an excuse. We do not have that crutch anymore. Management, you do not have that crutch anymore. Shout out to Williamson. Welcome on in. But yeah, the offensive line cannot be used as an excuse or a crutch anymore. We have got to figure out a way to solve this problem. And it's frustrating to me that nobody wants to put the blame where it truly belongs. Except for our crew. Our crew knows what we're doing, right? We all know who the culprit is. Whether we want to admit it or not, we all know who it is. Excuse me. But then you got the Falcons defense and the Saints defense dipping their hands in a cookie jar, getting these fumbles, getting these interceptions, getting these turnovers. Because we're not doing things correctly. Now, some of that you could blame on first game jitters. Some of that you could blame on Price as a rookie. Yeah. I'll give you both of those. I'll give you both of those for free. Yeah, that's legitimate. But if you come in there without a game plan, if you come in there with your wide receivers running straight into coverage on every single play without deviating, without doing something different, no. That's not execution. That's coaching. You got to coach them and tell them to go somewhere else. Get open. Now, to me, that would be on the wide receiver coach. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is on the wide receiver coach. If you don't immediately want to blame it on Frank, then yeah, wide receivers coach. Because these guys should be trying to get open. They should be trying to deviate from their routes, trying to get separation. Separation's been the problem, right? But at the same time, I'm going back through these slides in the last week or so here, looking at the Falcons game, and some of these guys are wide open. And Bryce doesn't even look at them. Because, okay, Mingo is a set wide receiver option here. He's your first option. Then you go to Thielen. Then you go to whoever it is, you know. Okay, well, what happens if these guys are not put in the right order and the pressure gets to him, to Bryce, before he can complete his reads? Which has been known to happen because we've had issues with Icky. We've had issues with Taylor Moton now in the last couple of games. So, okay, here comes the pressure. And let's play devil's advocate here and say, okay, maybe Cade Mays will let one through once in a while, which I doubt he will. But let's just play devil's advocate and say he will, okay? Because he's a second stringer. So Bryce has to decide, you know, he's already went through one progression, two progressions, and by the third progression, here comes the pressure right in his face. So he's either got to move or he's got to get rid of the ball. He's got to do something. So, I mean, you can't blame this on Bryce at this point. He's doing the best he can. And I mean, I'm not... For the most part, the offensive line has been really good. You know, I can't... You know, there's been a few instances where we've let people through. Yes. But, you know, is it a major problem? No. And Bryce, being the rookie that he is, walks into the pressure, gets sacked. Yeah, that's going to happen. He's a rookie. Be patient with the man. Now, what I don't like is the fact that these wide receivers are not getting open on the predestined routes. You know, after they've run the route, they just stand there. They walk right into coverage and they just stay in coverage. I mean, what wide receivers do that? What wide receivers that have been successful in the NFL do that? Please tell me so. And we got some of the best wide receivers in the NFL right now. We got DJ Chark, we got Adam Thielen. Both of them come from the NFC, both in their respective number one spots at wide receiver. Coming here to Carolina. Since when do these guys just run their routes and stay in coverage? Since when? This is why this has got to be the coordinator. This has got to be the coaching staff. I'm telling you guys, it's not Bryce. Get off of Bryce's nuts, man. It's not him. Anyone that's blaming Bryce at this point, get off his back. And I got to say this is in a certain way, because some people just will not get off the train here. Get off his nuts. For real. Because all y'all love to jump on Bryce Young. Oh, he's too short. He can't see over the line. That's why he can't throw it deep. Y'all got all the excuses in the world right now. Here comes all the anti-Bryce Young people. Here comes all the anti-Scott Fitterer people. Because y'all can't see the actual truth of what's going on here. And the answer is very simple. It's Frank. This is like calling the kettle black. Yeah, we know the kettle is black. So fix the problem. Come on. This is like calling... Oh my goodness. It's so dumb. You want to blame everything but the real problem. And with all due respect, man, some of these takes are utterly ridiculous. That some of y'all put out there. I got respect for them all. You got my full respect for all of them. And you're allowed to say whatever you want on your respective podcasts, whatever you want to say in your comments sections, in your chats. Let it rip. I got no problem with that. And I respect everybody's opinions. I do. But some of y'all just put out the most ridiculous cap stuff, man. It's just, I can't. I can't with some of y'all, man. Like, it's much love to you as a person, man, and I got much love to everybody as human beings. But some of y'all really need to double check your NFL education. Because it's showing. It really is. Some of y'all need to do some double takes and some real analyzation of these players and not just go by feeling. Because there's so much to learn from these players if you use both ways of doing things. Look at it from a broader perspective. Open your mind. And you'll find what you're looking for. Then you'll start to see the full picture of who these guys really are. And that's what I've been trying to tell everybody. That's what I've been trying to show everybody is who these guys really are. And I think I got a pretty good read on some of y'all, man. Some of these players. I mean, I haven't been proven wrong yet on most of them. So, until I am, there you go. This is where we live. You know what I mean? Like, unless they change that status quo and they get better. That's where they live. You know what I'm saying? In that status quo, that identity. Show me that you are better than that identity. Change that status quo. Get better. No matter who you are. Even if you've been putting up numbers every week. Keep pushing forward. Keep showing me that you are that person. You know, that's a good thing. There's some players that are putting up numbers. You know, Brian Burns, Derek Brown. Keep showing me that you are that person, man. Keep showing me. And that's why you get paid the big bucks. You know, or you're going to get paid the big bucks. Because you keep showing this management, this is who you are. And you're never going to stop being that person until fatigue and body in years wear you down. That's what I want. Always keep progressing. Always. No matter what's in front of you. If you got a wall in front of you, knock it down. And be better than you were yesterday. Just a little bit better than you were yesterday. Even that is progress. And I see a lot of potential in these boys. I do. I see a lot of chances for them to be successful. So am I giving up on this group? No. Not at all. No. No. I'll let y'all know when it's time to hit that panic button, all right? We're nowhere even close. Just because we went 0-2 against division doesn't mean we have to hit that panic button right now. You know, that big old red button that says panic? We're not hitting that today. Not today. Be patient. Let's figure out this offense and let's be patient. This defense is playing their absolute guts out for you. We got to make them, we got to give them a reward. We got to reward them. We got to put points up. Takes all this team, though. Takes all of it to win a game. All of it. I'm talking offense, defense, special teams, the whole 9 yards. Takes all of it to win a game. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of weird games. You know, I was watching that Kansas City and Jacksonville one. That was a weird game. And yet still Kansas City somehow managed to come out on top. Despite the refs, despite the turnovers, despite everything possibly blocking them from doing it, they still managed to win against a very, very incredibly tough team that has been on the rise. Now, where have we seen that movie before? Not in Carolina. I can tell you that. But if you'd like to become that team, we can. All we have to do is figure out that playbook. That's it. It's that simple. Just figure out the playbook. Guys, why are we 0-2? Why are we 0-2 right now? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Year after year. It just, oh my God. Like, as a Panthers fan, it just drives me insane. I don't know about y'all, but it just drives me insane. So, I mean, if y'all got frustration, if you got stuff to vent about, man, throw it in chat. Go ahead. Now is your chance. Throw it in chat. Because I could do another stream during the middle of the week if you'd like. On on Thursday or Friday, if you'd like, to where you can vent your frustrations about this team. I could do that for an hour and a half. I don't mind. If you feel like that's something that you feel like we need to do, we'll do it. I'll let y'all decide, If you feel like that's something we need to do, put up a poll. And, you know, whatever y'all go, whatever y'all decide on, I'll abide by it. You know, it's got to be by my schedule though. But if that's what y'all decide we need to do, that's what y'all decide we need to do. Like, I'm not trying to be uncaring here, because I really do want people to voice their opinions. I want people to be heard. And the best way to do that is um to stream as much as we can if necessary, and do what we need to do to get people's voices heard. So, like I said, if you got frustrations, throw them out there. This is the place to do this. Just keep it family friendly, of course, but, because you know how we roll here. But, if you got frustrations, throw them in, man. Throw them in chat. Please do. Because I want people to get their voices out here, man. I do. And I can tell you whether I think it's a legitimate concern or not, in my opinion. So, welcome back, Williamson. But yeah, we do have work to do with this team. If we want to get it where we want it to go. But it will take time. It will take patience. It will take development of these players. So there was a Blitzball said something about Mingo. And I forget what he said. Did he ran right into coverage or something like that? I don't know. I don't remember what he said, but he had some type of issue with Mingo. I don't remember what it was. I'll voice the ones I have the most concerns about from this game. The first one is Taylor Moton, because Taylor Moton has had a struggling last 2 games here. I don't know what it is, and I keep hoping it'll straighten itself out, because he's a really good offensive lineman, and I really don't want to see him just dropping to the wayside here, man, and becoming a less than average offensive lineman. Then we'll have to make a move and do something about that. But for right now, we don't. I trust Taylor Moton. I do. I trust him with this offensive line, this starting group. But it's every once in a while, he'll allow like a huge pressure on a big play, or a sack. And I'm going, oh man, this is not the Taylor Moton I'm used to seeing. Like, give me back the Taylor Moton that we had last year, bro. Give him back to me, please. I love that guy. Either way, I love him either way. He's a great guy. I don't remember if I met him at training camp or not, but I don't think so. I would have remembered him, I think. But Yeah, he's typically pretty solid, and it's just those critical situations that I had to say that's not it. You can't be giving up big plays in big pressures like that during those situations. Now, if it's a blitz and they have the numbers, I completely understand. I'll let you off the hook for that. But if you are 101 and you allow this guy to beat you like 1 out of 20 times, it's going to be a problem. Because 1 out of 20 times can lead to a major pressure or a sack in critical situations. That's something we cannot allow. In how many snaps per game? There you go. And he's a great offensive lineman. I'm not trying to paint him as somebody lesser than what he is, But he just needs to work on a few things, technique, footwork, maybe. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, he needs to get it straightened out because that was not good. As far as players wise, you know, CJ Henderson is going to be CJ Henderson at the end of the day. He's going to be who he is. Dante's going to be Dante. He's going to miss tackles the way he did, every once in a while. He's reverting back to that bad habit of just like missing with a bad angle. And I don't like that. It was only one time, but that one time can turn into two. That two times can turn into four. That's what we don't want. So, I mean, it's stuff that could be repeatable bad habits that can turn into something real bad. So, I just don't want to see it. And let me address J.C. Horn real quick. Just because the man is not on the field most of the time does not make him a bust. Let me explain the difference between a bust and a talented player to you. A bust would be Justin Fields. Justin Fields has had so much time to succeed with those Bears wide receivers. He now has DJ Moore up there. He got 100 yards out of DJ Moore, and he's still not getting past 200 yards. 230 yards of total offense. He's still not doing it. So you want to tell me, oh, that's DJ's fault? No. Oh, that's such and such a player's fault on his offense? That are offensive weapons? No. Nope, try again. Now, if you want to blame the offensive line, that might be a credible source. I might give you that one. Because the Chicago offensive line is terrible. I'm not going to say worse than the league, but they're darn near close. I'd say I'd rank them 30th right now. If I was going to rank them. I'd put ours probably about 15th. I think 15th is fair. 15th. What do y'all think? Let me know. But that's my take on it. Only because Icky is struggling and Taylor Moton is struggling a little bit. Plus injuries. We don't have Brady Christensen anymore. So yeah, 15th. Seems fair to me. Considering all of that, that's pretty doggone great, man. You know what I mean? I don't know what PFF is rating him, But that's my rating. I don't go by PFF all the time. I only go by them when I need to. When it comes to like offensive lineman grading, during draft time, preparation for that. Yeah, I'll rely on that. But when I got my own prediction on that, that's what it is. You know, I've got my own look at it, and I can use my eyes just as well as they can. So if it passes the eye test, sure, I'm down to give them their flowers. If not, if it doesn't pass the eye test, sorry, I can't let you eat those. I can't let you have your flowers on those plays. And I've got to call it out. I've got to be fair. So, I mean, getting back to what I was saying, yes, you can use the offensive line as an excuse for Justin Fields, to a degree. But okay, let's build that offensive line up. Let's see what he does when he has an offensive line. Does he become Drew Brees? Does he become the next Tua? Does he become the next Lamar Jackson? What does he do? When he's got the line to protect him. Or does he still struggle to get past 250? You decide. But honestly, to me, he doesn't have that potential. He doesn't have those skills that everybody is saying he has. And I don't understand why everybody's yeah. These allergies. Woo. I don't understand why everybody's like so high on him. I don't get it. I don't get it. Baffled. Ooh. Sorry. Oh. Oh. I need some juice or something, man. My throat's just. Ugh. Now compare that to Jaycee Horn, who's been hurt. Oh. All right. So compare that to Jaycee Horn, who's been hurt, has not seen playing time, but still has the skills to be a top 10 corner. Okay? Still has the skills. Now you can disagree with me all you want. But the fact is the man's been absolutely great when he's been on the field. Look at the numbers of how many catches he's allowed. Look at all the pass deflections he's got. He's even gotten a few interceptions last year. And that was under Phil Snow's offense. Defense. Imagine what he can do under Ajaros once he's fully healthy and he's able to play again. But yet everybody's just like, oh yeah, trade him. Toss him to the wind. He's a bust. He's nothing anymore. He's a joke. This is how you're going to treat one of our best corners that we've ever had in franchise history? in my opinion, like this is how you're gonna treat him. Him? You're gonna treat him like a bust now? Like he never did anything? Where's the flowers, man? Where's the flowers for Jesse Horn? Somebody give this man his flowers, please. We as a fan base do this like all the time, and I don't understand it. Y'all are so quick to throw a player under the bus, but you never give him his flowers. When you're throwing him under the bus, you never tell people, "Oh, well, he did this for such and such amount of months. He was a successful player. Oh, but now he's struggling." That's what I want people to acknowledge. If they're willing to say that, then I'm willing to take their opinions and say, okay, all right, I'm listening. I'm here for it. You know, if you think he's a bust now, let him come out there and prove it once he gets out of his injury. That's what I'm saying to y'all, man. Some of these players that y'all keep throwing under the bus like this have the talent, but just aren't seeing the field because of the injuries. And y'all want to act like they haven't done anything. Some of y'all want to act like that. And I'm like, really? This is really what we're doing? We're going to act like that. We're going to act like he's just some random corner off the side of the street. Like, please tell me, like, where I'm going wrong here. Because I know I'm going to get some response from some YouTuber about this, but this is how this fan base operates, man. We're so fair weather, man. We're so fair weather. We are never as high as we think we are, and we're never as low as we think we are. Somebody clip that because I'm not saying it again. It's the truth, though, isn't it? Somebody tell me that ain't the truth. In your honest opinion of watching this Panthers team for 9+ years, how can you say that's not true? How can you say that? You can't. You got to be honest about where we are as a franchise. So where do we go from here? Do we have a shot against the Seahawks? I don't know. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know. Until we know what we're doing. Until we know what we're doing offensively, then I don't know if we have a chance or not. We're going to find out, though, together. It takes this whole team together in order to succeed from here on. Are you ready to do that? Are you ready to ascend to the next level and finally claim what is ours? finally claim a W. Sorry. Choice is yours, Panthers. Let me know. Are you ready to claim it or no? With that being said, that's all I got for you for right now. Unless you have something else you want to bring up in chat, in which case go for it. Real quick. But yeah, I'm gonna get in and I'm gonna get some sleep. But because I got another busy day tomorrow, so I guess we're gonna keep pounding through this. We're gonna keep pounding through this season because that's who we are. We're gonna keep pounding, baby, no matter what. No matter what comes in our path, we're gonna keep pounding through it. Because that is who we are. That is in our DNA. Believe it. Believe it and make those words real. Manifest them. Put them into action. No matter what you're going through in life, keep pounding through it. That doesn't just go to the team, that goes to everybody. Keep pounding through it. Whether you're going through sickness, whether you're going through, which I happen to possibly be right now, but if you happen to be going through whatever it is, keep pounding through it. You will find peace on the other side of it. You will. Believe it. Manifest it. Make it real. It's all inside here. It's all inside here, guys. You got to believe it. Believe it. Make the future yours. And that goes for the offense. Wake up. Figure out what you need to get done. Put it in motion and get it done. Execute. It's that simple. And maybe, just maybe, we might have a chance at resurrecting this season. Maybe. I want to believe we do. Do you? Or are we just stuck in that same old Panthers mindset of, oh, this is a dumpster fire team? Which one is it? Which one are you? Which, I mean, both viewpoints are valid right now. But which one are you? You going to choose to see the optimistic side? Or are you going to be a pessimist? Or are you going to be a realist like me and say, we still have a shot, but we've got a lot of work to do? This is by no means going to be easy. So, short week. Let's get ready for Seattle. And as always, stay happy, healthy, and well. And keep pounding.